Oh, baby, it's the DREAMCAST.
Yay! We're here to listen to dreams. It's like nights into dreams over here.
Oh my god, I get it. DreamCast is a podcast about dreams.
That's
you sly dog for not understanding.
And as you can see, Nate's playing Sega Saturn.
Oh, I'm sending you to the moon, friend. You begged for it on your hands and knees for this DreamCast, ladies and gentlemen. We got the whole crew, and here we are.
They said, "Let Mage dream." They said, "Well, you know, it's your funeral, viewer."
Well, to some it's gonna be the Dreamcast. To some it's gonna be a nightmare.
Nighty night, everyone.
I'm ready to. I'm
Good
planning.
night, everybody.
I plan to fall asleep on stream.
And then wake up going hop, 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 and then talk about what you just dreamed about.
Yeah, at the very end. I'm gonna hold off as long as I can.
People always be telling you shit like, oh, you gotta follow your dreams. Well, buddy, if I followed my dreams, first thing that would happen is I fucking kill you.
Well, hey, you should at home. You should follow our dreams by hitting that subscribe button and smashing the bell as well.
These are patrons you're talking to. They probably already smashed it.
I forgot.
I know. I just wanted to say it because it was a really, really excellent joke.
Hey, speaking of just dreams, I'm sure we'll be fast and loose with this definition throughout the episode. We will really talk about dreams, though. But I've been dreaming about playing Techromancer for, I don't know, decades or so. When our cousin Al had a Dreamcast, and I would go over to his house on vacations to visit the family.
Good old cousin Al.
He would have a Dreamcast.
Good old beer brewing cousin Al.
This was by far the best game of his selection.
I have absolutely no knowledge on this game, but there's the word romancer in the title. Do you get to romance someone?
I think there's some.
It's literally just fighting. It's
the robots fuck.
The reason this was the best game was because it was the only multiplayer game.
That's true.
Because when we would go over there, we wanted to play video games, and this was the fighting game.
Ben and I would always just go for those games. I mean, I think we all were that spurgy kids of the family who would just go find the video games.
Hanging out at family.
True.
Give me video games, thank you very much.
Hey, speaking of really good jokes, the other night,
I'm waiting.
I had a dream that the whole entire ocean was filled with orange soda.
That sounds like...
Hey,
well,
you know who loves orange
soda? I guess it was more of a fantasy.
Everyone talked over the punchline.
I heard it. I still heard it.
I'd fantasy you did.
I googled stupid dream jokes, and that was the first one that came up.
Wait, do you even know what that is? Do you have Fanta in the US?
Yeah, we got Fanta.
I love Fanta. It's my favorite carbonated
Hey, did you
drink.
know? Here's a fun fact.
It's not keto, though. It's not keto.
In Europe, they call Fanta Orangina.
Really?
Yeah. That's
no, that's not true, because we have Orangina over here, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
Alright.
At least
Fun
in the
fact,
Kenya
destroy.
Fanta.
Fact, no longer fun.
Depressing fact.
Fanta is like your standard orange soda that tastes like swill. Orangina is it's like a carbonated soda, but it's like got like actual juice in it. I think. Pretty sure about that.
Idiot will put juice in it.
Ban Nate from Lithuania or something.
Why? What did I do?
Not Nate, sorry, Ben. I'm sleepy.
What did I do?
Okay, speaking of sleepiness, guys.
You said you called Fanta a dirty word.
Enough of this hemming and hawing. I want to hear about some dreams, goddammit.
Alright. Here, I'll tell you a dream.
Please.
Alright, I had this dream a couple nights ago, and it's notable in that I had a dream when I don't usually have dreams, and I was like, wow, this is like this is good. This is like really good. And I had to write it down before I forgot. And it's cool because it was a dream about a guy who is in a dream. All right, let me. I got the notes here. I'm just gonna read the notes I have.
Okay.
So I just call this story. On a long flight, deja vu kicks in. This has happened before, but it's not just one person. 2 people are reliving this flight. They bond on the journey about how weird it is that this is happening, and they plan to meet up when they wake up. But they realize that the paper they write on is dream paper. They won't have it when they wake up. They brainstorm ways to remember, surefire ways that they'd be able to meet up accidentally, and eventually they just have to rely on their memories. So it's basically like these people are in the dream, like they both remember this flight, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. And they both know it. And it's a man and a woman, by the way, romance. This is a big Hollywood blockbuster movie. Cool times. And so they go home. They end the flight. The flight is not like the thing. They just... I don't know why it was a flight. You know. Now I'm starting to be stupid, and let me look back at my notes. So the main guy starts to feel sleepy. The dream is coming to a close. So in this dream he was awake.
Wouldn't he be feeling unsleepy because he's gonna wake up?
Well, yeah, no. In the dream he was awake. In the dream he was awake, and at the end of the dream he goes to bed.
Wouldn't he go into just a deeper yet level of sleep, like in Inception, and then cascade down?
No, because Inception is a different movie.
Oh.
They copywrote double sleeps.
Okay, fair enough.
So this guy, he's like, okay, I really like this person. I want to meet them when I wake up. But god damn it, I don't know how to remember. Shit. So he falls asleep with a pen and paper to write down the surname of his friend, or like the information. He wakes up. The pen and paper are gone. The dream is over, and it was a day from a while ago. Nothing is the same. Nothing in his room is the same. This is like weeks later, after this flight happened. He's dreaming about the flight from a few weeks ago. He scrambles to find a pen and paper, and he can't find any. The pens don't work, and he finds tissues to write on, but they rip. By the time he's found the right implements, he can't remember the name. He sadly goes about his day. The time they both spoke of where they would definitely meet on is that day. The man's phone rings. Another friend was planning to meet him there. He doesn't want to go out today. He's too sad. He misses his chance. So basically, they were talking about, like, I didn't mention this in the notes, but they were like, but there's like a thing happening in a few months, and I'm going to it. Oh, I'm going to it too. We'll be able to meet up there. So if we forget the name, we'll meet up. But because he was so sad that he forgot the name, he also forgot to go to the thing, and it's all fucked up. He's sad at home, but then
There's a lesson to be learned here.
the lesson is that it all turns out right in the end, because it's not all over, as he receives an email from the Dream Girl. Literally, haha, Dream Girl, haha. Could be the name of the movie.
Oh, name of the movie's Dream Girl? Oh, okay, yep.
She did remember. She did remember his name and managed to write it down, because she's a woman. She has things that are more organized. She messages him about how she couldn't find him on the day out, and then they meet up, and then they have a baby in the credits.
Hold on.
Nice.
Hold the fucking phone. How? If she could just send him a message saying that, why did they have to meet up at the thing?
Well, she didn't know that she could send him
No,
a
because
message.
like they talked in the dream and said, here's my internet username. You can email me when we're done dreaming. And then they were like, wait a minute, this is a dream. I won't. This won't be in my real phone. But she remembered it.
Oh.
But I guess the question is, why did it take her so long to remember? Because you said time had passed, right? Why didn't you just do that right away?
I don't know.
Okay.
Come on, it's a dream. It was I dreamed a fucking blockbuster movie that is like a really good premise for something.
It actually sounds a lot like Your Name. I mean, it's a different time thing.
I was gonna say it's just a little bit reminiscent of the whole.
Fuck.
No, it's different though.
No.
It sounds like a movie Carl Pilkington would come up with.
You know what
It
it
is
also
very
sounds like?
different.
In JoJo Part 3, when they're fighting the card Death, it's a little kid, and when you fall asleep around him, you go into the dream world, and he can kill you in your dreams. Make this a horror thriller and get it. And so one of the things they do is, Kakyoin keeps falling asleep.
Isn't that just Freddy?
It's it's just Freddy. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much a ripoff. But when he falls asleep, like he wakes up with wounds. But the thing is, you do not remember anything that happened in the dream. You only are like, oh shit, why am I cut now? So one of the things they do is like they carve into their own flesh like warning messages because like the only thing that lasts are wounds. It's a whole big thing. Anyway, cool. This is
Pretty
good.
clever.
Yeah.
Did that happen in the
Monetized
Freddy
dreams.
movie?
And yeah, so
Oh, fuck.
the reason I don't dream a lot, I think, is because I go to bed when I'm really tired. But for some reason, I was still really tired when I had this dream, but I had one beer. Just one beer. So like,
Yeah.
2 beers, it doesn't happen. 1 beer, though. I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna try having 1 beer and see if I can have another cool dream about like an actual thing.
I have more dreams when I drink, for some reason. But really, the time when I have the most dreams, I don't have dreams very often. When I do, it's usually when I wake up and I don't want to get up and just like stay in bed and like I don't have to sleep. Like I should be waking up, but I'm just like forcing myself to stay asleep. In that state, I dream a lot. But
Yeah.
it's shitty, dumb, bad dreams that are just like, oh, I dreamed that I woke up and went somewhere and did something, but it turns out, no, I didn't. I've been here the whole time.
It's pretty common for me to dream of like getting up and being late for work, only to wake up moments afterward and realize I am not in fact late. I am still in bed, and work comes later today, Nate. So relax. I wake up in a panic. This doesn't happen often, but that experience is one of my more common dream type experiences.
Yeah.
I used to hate back when I used to go to school. I would wake up and I'd be like, oh, 5 more minutes. I would close my eyes and dream about actually getting up, and then like I wake up and just like, oh shit, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah, it's shit.
But
say no to
speaking
school,
about, like,
kids.
Yeah, but speaking about like movies, dreaming about movies and stuff, I actually had a recent dream. My most recent dream, just before I got up for this podcast, I had a dream about watching an episode of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and in the dream it was my favorite episode, but the episode doesn't actually exist. And it went something like this. So it starts with Katara getting some fake ass money, like I think
Some
like,
fake ass money.
I mean, they look like actual, golden coins, and I'm not sure if she was fully aware that they were fake, but they look real enough. And she had to dress up as like a noble lady from the Earth Kingdom, and she went to this marketplace to buy something, or I guess she was like on a sort of like mission to just like a spy or something. And she ended up talking to an actual lord of the Earth Kingdom, and although she was polite and minded her manners, like she didn't know the common courtesies of the Earth Kingdom, and he took insult, but he wasn't overt about it. When they stopped their conversation, the Earth guy was like, I guess she'll have to be taught a lesson for not minding her manners or something like that. Anywho, so that's the last we saw of him for now. And then Katara, she goes to this.
Whoa! Look at it on the screen. Was that a dream? Whoa! Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yes, it's okay. But yeah, so she goes on to this booth where they were selling ornate vases or something, and she bought one of them, and she paid with the fake ass money. But the thing about the fake ass money is apparently they're a kind of treat for certain creatures, and one of these creatures just so happened to be at the back of the booth, masquerading as a human, and the creature was like a clay monster or something like that, like a dirt clay monster, and he immediately it looked like he was trying to attack Katara, but all he did was just eat the money. And when he did, at that same time, another clay monster attacked from the sky, and it was bird-shaped, and I think he was sent by the Earth guy to attack Katara.
Jesus Christ, your dreams are so intricate and specific. This is so bizarre, but okay, all right. Not trying to interrupt.
It's okay. And so the clay monster, because he got the treat from Katara, he decided to protect her. And so a battle ensued, but the clay monster was usually docile and friendly, so he was losing the battle. So Katara had to step in and reveal the fact that she was a waterbender, and she started fighting the clay bird thing. And a lot of her, like, she was dressed in a really fancy sort of Earth Kingdom dress, and it was really pretty and green, and sadly a lot of it got ripped off Not in a weird sexy way. Just
I'm interested.
Not in that sort of way.
I'm imagining a little tasteful tears like across the breasts, but like tastefully hiding the nipples.
Of course.
Or like the shoulder straps gone.
Child friendly.
Yeah,
right. PG-13 clothes ripping.
The sleeves were off and like the length was shortened to like her knees or something like that. But yeah, like her hair was also loose and messy and stuff, and she was just fighting, and she was so badass. And I was like, oh, Katara's really kicking ass. I really like this episode. But yeah, she won the battle, and then she apologized to the people of the booth about causing the ruckus, and she promised not to tell anyone about the clay creature because they were not allowed to work in their kingdom. And so to repay the damage, she and the rest of the group helped paint the vases because they were.
Did they paint it with a mural? There's like lots of imprints of their hands on a wall, like Doug and Skeeter in that one episode of Brand Spanking New Doug.
No.
But of course not. That was my last dream, not this one.
Okay, just checking.
But yeah, so the episode ended, and then it switched to a different anime. Now I really wish I could describe you the anime in detail, but all I can remember
that's
was
what we're here for. Okay.
it was some sort of like tournament arc. I knew what anime it was in the dream, but I can't remember what it is right now. I know that I haven't seen it, but I have heard the name. And
was it Hunter x Hunter?
It might have been Yu Yu Hakusho. It's something one of those things. But the main guy, he got hold of a weapon that was a giant fucking ass hammer, and
not just a hammer, not just a giant ass hammer, a giant fucking ass hammer. So like, and scale your mental image up accordingly.
Yeah, it was like at least 3 times as big as the main character, and he lifted it up, and the hammer, on top of being a giant fucking ass hammer, it opened up on both of the ends, and it turned into a different weapon because like stuff came out of it, and it was just like, it was one of those like robot transformation sort of things when they like open up and there's suddenly weapons within them. So the hammer would just like opened up and suddenly there's more weapons within that hammer, and he just wrecked shit, and that was really cool. And then that's the end of the dream.
So that was a double. That was a twofer.
I was watching TV.
So yeah, it was a dream about you watching 2 not real episodes of a thing, like one after the other.
Yeah.
My key. First takeaway from this dream is that Mage pronounces Earth like Will Smith in Independence Day when he says "Welcome to Earth." You say Earth. It's funny.
Sorry.
I've never noticed before.
Earth. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Does not exist as a sound in Lithuanian language, so a lot of Lithuanians struggle with it. I guess I do too.
Is that? Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any other sounds that don't exist?
It's really stupid because like Lithuania has the th sound in it, so people from Lithuania cannot pronounce Lithuania.
Yeah. Well, that's the legacy of colonialism. I think. It's definitely the white man's fault.
You gotta blame someone.
Anywho, I have more dreams, but like feel free to share yours.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, I got another short one.
Yeah, please go.
I remember this. I remember this from like the other day actually. Where I was like, oh no, wait, it was today. It was today I woke up and I was like, oh shit. Oh no, I missed it. I missed the flight for RadCon 4. We were gonna go to that. We saw on Airbnb that ancient Mayan temple that has been like restructured into a lovely hotel resort. God, it was so cheap. I can't believe I forgot the flight.
Oh yeah, it came really cheap. You know, the real estate agent said something about an Indian burial ground or curse or something.
Indian burial ground in the ancient Mayan temple.
It was a great deal.
In my brain, it was like a cross between like Beach City Steven Universe and some sort of temple from Sonic Adventure.
Word.
And I was like, I saw the pictures. It was going to be so cool. And I can't believe that maybe there's still time. No, there's no time. I can't get to the airport in 1 hour. God damn it! And I was just thinking that. I was like, maybe there is enough time. And I looked at the clock. I was like, oh yeah, there's enough time. Wait a minute. I'm not going to Radcon 4. And then I remembered
And then you
also
woke
that
up,
it's
and,
not
then you woke up in a cold sweat, like, oh god, I dreamed there was going to be a Radcon 4. It was horrible.
I just thought that was really funny because I love when you wake up thinking, oh no, I know something, and then it's not true.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks.
Those are the funniest and the saddest dreams. Like the time I thought my whole family had died, and I was like, oh yeah, damn it.
Damn it.
Shit. I can't believe my brother's dead. This is just so terrible. Wait, he's fine.
I think I had a dream. I think I had a dream like that. I think I had a dream like that about my dad, or our dad, Nate. Yeah, I don't remember any details, but I definitely dreamed that Dad had died, and I woke up still thinking it, and then remembered the truth, and was like,
the horrible truth.
The horrible truth that it hadn't happened yet.
And it was actually
the plan had not in fact worked.
The to-do list for today was not yet complete.
Shit, that reminds me of a nightmare I had. I don't have nightmares very often, so it is a bit of an occasion when I actually have a nightmare. It was a long while ago, so I'm gonna keep it short. I don't remember the details, but basically I was trapped inside my house back in Lithuania, and I had to relive this night, or rather, like my family, they were all gathered here, and they were all killed off one by one, and I kept trying to tell them, then, we have to get out of this house, but they wouldn't believe me. So I would reset time to repeat the night and try to get them out, but they would never listen. And I was doomed to repeat this, seeing my family get slaughtered until
at a certain
realized...
point, you just knock them out, and you carry out their corpses, right?
That's the thing, though, at a certain point. Yeah,
right, okay.
That's the thing, though. Like, at a certain point, I realized I can't save them all. I could only save my mother because she was always the last one and she managed to listen to me. So I got my mother out and we started running away. But the entities that cursed my house, they chased after us. So me and my mom tried to run away really far away. And we managed to escape. We had to change our names and stuff like that and try to start a new life. And basically that was it.
She had to leave behind the violet violence and become lethal Aurora Mage. It's all true. It's all true. The legends.
No.
You guys seen this like elbow beam I can do?
Oh,
check it out.
Nate, are you paying attention to these dream stories?
Of course. I mean, yeah. In general.
You're gonna be quizzed.
I'm pretty enthralled in this weird Evangelion game that I'm watching.
Yeah.
God, I knew this would happen.
No,
Yeah.
I knew this
good.
would all be about video games, the worst thing ever made.
This is like it's a nightmare dreamscape. It's
Well,
what we want.
I thought that I was prepared for this. I erroneously believed myself to be prepared because I knew that I had a secret weapon and an ace up my sleeve. Since of 2016, I've been keeping a dream journal.
Whoa.
Oh God, no!
Did you see that
Every
combo?
once in a while.
Nate, shut
Only when
up.
I have like a particularly.
Go on, Jess.
What the fuck just happened?
Asshole.
This guy just did his ultimate fucking move all over my ass. It was insane.
You have
insane.
you have the fucking gall to ask for editor pay for this episode after pulling this shit, after keeping us all waiting as you get the game audio working, getting it all recording, and then you interrupt the dream story that we're all here for to say, look at my combo.
No, it wasn't my combo. It was his combo. It's altruism.
The sheer cheek.
Okay.
On this blackguard.
Well, I apologize.
Okay, just continue.
Huh? Oh, right. Dreams. Right.
You got a diary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a nice little diary, just like our hero.
You made Nikki, guy?
Just like Doug Funny.
Does he have a diary? Is that a thing he does?
He says "Dear Journal." Every episode is him writing in his journal.
Yeah,
it's basically
whenever characters call it a diary, he gets really butthurt.
Yeah. It was. You thought My Little Pony was groundbreaking? No. Let me take you back to the past. Doug Funny, the brand spanking new Doug. That's it. It's
Cultural revolution.
not a diary.
Wait a minute.
But a journal.
Is that Vic Viper from fucking, you know.
No, that's Shadow Red, clearly.
No, the other
It's
guy,
right there
the
in
blue man. Okay, whatever. No, it's
No,
not.
it's Dixon.
It's Dixon, of course. My mistake. Sorry.
Who else?
Oh, he's got dicks in him.
Look at my fucking
he's a
sword, though.
fat.
God damn. It's huge.
What is the Dream Journal? Why were you not prepared for the episode?
Right. Okay, I forgot. This is the worst fucking episode of any podcast ever. So, like, I just...
No, we've done
We've done far worse.
Have you listened to Monsters?
maybe you weren't paying attention, but there were some real winners.
I full on didn't listen
Jesse, did anyone ever
for like
tell
a year and a half.
I don't
Did
blame
anyone
me
ever
neither.
tell you about the Talking with Our Mouths full podcast?
Oh, yeah.
That can't be real.
Oh,
was
yeah.
that was probably the height of artistic.
ASMR was pretty great as well.
ASMR was pretty.
you know.
Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I gotta give it to ASMR.
People still
People
complain about
hate
ASMR.
and are mad about ASMR to this day, so...
That's why.
Well, we're gonna
I'm
give
proud
something
of
else
it.
for them to be mad about. The Dreamcast.
yeah.
The only
First of
thing
many.
I heard that you did like an episode about monsters, and it was like an atrocious abomination.
Yeah, it was.
That was the one. That
like,
was the one.
bad enough that I heard about it in separate channels, like in separate
Yeah.
avenues of life.
It's become a meme because it was basically like it didn't happen immediately. Like in hindsight, it was the catalyst for us to be like, we need to stop.
We need to stop
like,
all
we're,
of this.
We're out of set topic. We can't just like pick some. We can't just throw a dart at a board and talk about whatever it lands on.
Pretty much.
And then we made
Yeah.
Monsters 2.
Yeah,
And
and three.
Well, that
Yeah.
no, you'll have to listen to Monsters 2 and find out.
And Monsters Inc. And
I want to
real
know
monsters.
about the
Dream
Dream
Yeah,
Journal.
me too. Me too.
Right. So I made the first entry like on a lark. I guess in December of 2016, and you know, I told myself, okay, I'm gonna write in this every time I have an interesting dream. So it's not every time, but you know, whenever I had a dream over the previous few years that I thought was really interesting, really cool, I would write it down. So I really thought that I was prepared coming into this podcast. I thought that I would have a lot to, but I've got this document open, and looking through the entries, it's just all sex. It's all just me, just fucking, like, and like a lot of like specific
fucking.
names that nobody would, that none of you guys would know, because it's just like my current girlfriend and all of my ex-girlfriends ever, and like every female friend that I've ever had, like every female that I've ever seen in passing, I just fucked in it. And I'm
interesting.
struggling to find a single entry that is not horrifically
I want all the juicy details.
I mean, like they're not all, and they're not all even like sex dreams. Like some of them are just sad, and some of them are kind of like heartwarming. But like all of them have a sexual element to them. Like in pretty much like all of them involve nudity, constant. Every one of my dreams is always naked, and a lot of the times, like it's like I'll be dreaming of like some woman that I know, or some like friend of mine or something, and like a lot of the times it won't be sexual. Like we'll just be doing some like regular activity. It'll be naked, and like I think that's like my actual dream of like a perfect utopia where just like everyone is friends and everyone is naked, and we're just like doing activities, and it's like this perfect blissful level of perfect platonic love and that I see in all of my dreams, and also my dreams in the sense of what I long for in the world. Like just like me and some beautiful naked girl just like sitting on a tree branch or sitting or like sitting in a bathtub scrubbing each other's backs or some queer shit like that, or fucking like one of these entries is like, where is it? It was something about soccer. Let me try to find it here. Some fucking.
Did she fit the whole soccer ball, you know, in there?
Nate,
in
stop.
there.
Nate, now's not the time. This is beautiful.
In her urethra.
In the ureth, my dude.
Ureth. fucking, that sounds like a nudist colony dream.
Yeah, that's where I want to live. That's where I want to.
You know,
when I finally achieve my true dream, pushing everyone away out of my life and being completely alone, and then leaving and walking the earth and winding up like washing on the beach of a nudist colony and being like adopted by the community. That's my one true dream.
You know, that reminds me, I have exactly one truly misogynistic belief that I stand by, that I will defend, and I really think should be implemented at the federal, state, and local levels, is that I am absolutely opposed to the freeing the nip movement. I could not be more opposed to freeing the nip, specifically because it is way more fun to be sexually titillated by women wearing clothing, and I don't want the mystique of the nipple taken away. So purely for my own sexual gratification, I, Nate Bestman, endorse this oppression of women officially, formally. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel the opposite. I feel like I would be like less of a misogynist and less of a toxic male if I just knew what every woman looked like naked. If everyone was always, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like I just want to walk up to women sometimes and just be like, "Look, I'm not like coming on to you or anything, but I just need to see it. I need to see what your pussy looks like."
But that's the game, right?
Because like, everybody's got something different going on, and like so, like to me, it's like when you know somebody, you can be like best friends with somebody, like really know each other, but like there's that one like missing pixel of intimacy where like you can't picture like what the pussy looks like on this human, and it's like I don't really know you if I don't know everything.
I
also
agree.
Think like that about your friends' dicks.
Yeah,
I mean I've seen all of my friends' dicks,
Nate,
so that's what I mean.
I gotta say I'm with you for the exact same reason. If every girl was just walking around nips out, then I would get bored. Then I would get bored of seeing them, and then what would I have? What would be left for me?
Society would crumble.
Wait a minute.
Well, what you would have left is you could work
touching
on
them.
RFCK, and you could do all of the, you could do Starfleet, you could do all the things that women like.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah, I know. This is only for the whole sexual titillation thing. It's a small focused area.
Like the whole
concern.
time that Munchie was going on about like sex is bad, and it was kind of a joke and a kind of a meme. But like the one point he had was that it is really distracting and it's annoying to have constant thoughts about it all the time. And then
it's true.
And like if women were boring, I wouldn't have to put up with them.
But like let's say nothing else changed in life except like whatever, women are naked all the time. I really think all that does is just make life more boring, just across the board. It's just more uninteresting for everyone. And
Mage, how do you feel about the Free the Nip movement?
I don't care.
Oh, come on.
Correct.
Get angry.
I don't care. I don't want to go outside my house, so,
Get angry.
I'm for the fear the nip movement.
I mean, I
I'm
suppose
scared. I never want to see one.
It'd be reasonable to disagree with my literal advocation for the oppression of women. I would understand, coming down on the other side.
Well, Nate, I think maybe you're not going far enough. Because
oh, really?
one man dared to go even farther, and guess what? He's a woman now. That's right. I'm talking about Christian Weston Chandler, who insisted that all men must wear man bras because seeing male nipples was disgusting and offensive to him.
All right. That makes sense.
Just to talk about this topic that's not about dreams. If it was passed, that you could walk around braless and stuff like that, I don't think every single woman in the world immediately would take off their bras and walk around, shirtless.
No. But wouldn't we creep that way socially, though? Like, more and more over time?
We would probably creep that way.
You'd probably be dead by the time the majority of
But, I mean, I want to protect this for future generations as well. Because I
just think it should be an option.
It would become the norm, and no one would care.
It'll never become the norm, because even if it's, like, made okay legally, not everyone would most people wouldn't do it because there would still be social fucking
for now.
bullshit.
Well, I mean,
retarded stigmas.
Well, hold on. Yeah, our society feels that way, but like there are other cultures that are fine with it.
Yeah,
who's to say we couldn't become that in
it should be an option, is my point.
But here's the thing.
An option to fucking have your boobies out. Who cares?
Yeah, but like,
Me,
who's
go to jail.
say that if the society changes, and then like, oh, it's just normal to see a woman without a without a shirt on, like that's just like a thing that can happen. It's like, yeah, you know, nipples, boobies, whatever. It's just sort of a thing, and then it's less boring.
Well, you know,
I don't know whether that would actually make like sexual gratification less boring. It would just be about the other thing.
You know what I am? You know what I am? I'm the biggest feminist there is. I'm a Faye Valentine feminist. I'm for women having mystery and mystique and, you know, secrets and whatnot. I'm way into that, and it's fun for everyone.
Fun fact about me, breast related. My favorite saint, my favorite Catholic saint is Saint Agatha of Sicily. She was tortured for something. Something, who cares?
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter what it was. But the punishment she received was having her breasts cut off, and then I think she was burned. And
that's also what I would use as the penalty for freeing the nip.
She is commonly depicted in art as holding her own severed breasts on a plate. Yep.
Yeah.
So go Google.
You know, I've always
Google
wondered.
Saint Agatha of Sicily.
Gross.
I've always felt like if I were a cannibal, what I would do is I would cut off women's breasts and I would put them on a plate like flan, and I would keep them in the fridge. And I always thought like it would just be a cool, like a neat visual. Like if I'll make a movie about a cannibal man just so that I can incorporate that visual into my life and make it a reality of a guy like going into the fridge late at night and like pulling out a plate with 2 boobies on it and just fucking cutting into him with a knife and a fork.
You know,
and
to dig into this topic deeper, when I was young, someone in my class told me about Ace Ventura, not Pet Detective, but the one where he goes to the jungle or whatever, and they insisted...
When Nature Calls.
When Nature Calls, thank you. This person insisted that in Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, there is a woman who walks around bare-chested. This made me extremely aroused as like a little baby. And also that this person got her tits cut off in the movie. This is what was described to me, and at which point I puked everywhere. But that was not the case, and fuck that dude for misleading me like that. Both of those things were lies.
Well, she does take her tits.
Is that true?
So,
okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, but
there's the scene where Ace Ventura is sitting by the fire getting to know the tribe, and the one girl takes shows him her boobies for whatever, she just has her boobies out or something, and he does some like wacky Jim Carrey head movement, and he goes, "Those are very," and that's the most important part of any movie ever made, is when Ace Ventura saw those boobies, and
So
he decided right then and there that he would buy.
Nate, quick question. Is Jesse cutting out for you, or is that just for me?
It's
He
also
is
for
in
me
fact
as
cutting
well.
out for I
What?
think all of us.
This whole time
No,
I've been telling you about the most important scene
only here and
I mean,
there.
in movie history. The time
it's
Ace
still-
Ventura saw those boobies.
It's
I can
still enough
understand
to-
everything you're saying. It's just really annoying.
Fair.
No,
Hey,
I mean, it's not your
how
fault,
about we
just
continue
not
talking
talk.
about dreams, guys, please?
Major, no fun. You're literally no fun. You come
This
in
is
and
the
you're pushing your
Dreamcast.
pro-dream agenda. No,
Nate,
even
this is the Dreamcast.
I guess it. I
Look,
can't.
I just
gotta
love
side
boobies.
with
I love
Mage on this
nipples.
one.
I just love naked women. That's really the point of all my
We-
dreams. I mean, that's the
That's
binding
true.
theme.
We threw
Yeah,
Major
that
Bone
holds
with
all
this
of them
one.
together.
And what are we? We can't take back a bone once thrown.
I suppose not.
Look, if you're a
You can
woman,
feel free-
I
feel free to make a
wish you were
movie cast
naked.
for the
That's
next-
just in my mind. If I was in charge, I just love butts and legs and fucking boobies. I'm a red-blooded American male. God damn it, and I'm not gonna change for any.
You got
Okay.
You got to pray that away, Jesse.
That being said, though, I mean,
Anyways, back
Who's
to my
got-
fucking wholesome naked dream.
Oh, right,
is my
right.
point from 20 fucking minutes ago. Yeah. So this one. Here's one entry that I can actually read, and it's, I'm not gonna fucking say the name of the person because it's just a girl, a person that I know, a friend of mine. But all of us were watching the Soccer World Cup and hearing an announcement that the rules had changed. Now the winning team would be the team that played the most stupid. Players were rolling in the grass and crab walking like idiots. This was good news for us. as being the biggest idiots in the world, we realized that we were eligible and could easily win. I ran into her room to give her the good news. She was naked again, but tastefully covered by the sheets. I woke her gently and told her the good news. She smiled and hugged me. And that's the whole thing. It doesn't lead anywhere sexual. That's the whole dream. It's just a wholesome, beautiful event, and that's what I wish my whole life was every day. Just
the tone, like this is such like a slapstick comedy right up until the end, when then like it ends with like the sad music kicks in and like a tender sentimental hug. The end.
Yes, that's how I write. That's how I write. That's my whole thing.
That's all of these in the stupid competition.
Hey, guess what? We're eligible for soccer because we're so stupid. Oh, come here. Yes, it's okay. We'll be friends forever. Credits roll.
It's okay. Hillary is president. We can hold each other in comfort.
I'm gonna make that a short film.
Please do.
Hey, we can play soccer because we can fucking roll in the grass like imbeciles.
That sounds great.
We can we got a dog on our team. The dog can hold a whole soccer ball in its mouth. It's a very talented fucking dog. That's the points for us.
Fantastic.
That was kind of a cute dream.
That is a fantastic dream.
I have a dream. I have many dreams.
more dreams.
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
So it starts off with me playing Doom. I don't remember which version of Doom, but it was maybe a new version, I guess. Anywho, so I was player 1 and there was a player 2, and we got dropped into a dark dungeon, and I had a really hard time figuring out the controls because I couldn't switch between the weapons correctly, so I tried to avoid any enemies until I figured it out. And while I was trying to figure it out and gather up some potions and whatnot, I saw in the right corner of the screen like notes on what's happening. For instance, like Monster A found this potion. I know doesn't happen in Doom, but it happened in my dream. And then Monster B opened this door or whatever. So it sort of gives you updates on what the monsters are up to. And so
it's a dream. Another dream reference in the game. Ah, there's happening. Okay, go on.
Holy shit!
Stop having those foolish dreams, Mage. Why don't you? Jesus Christ! It was the same dream. This is my Mage voice. I wasn't the only one dreaming. Okay, go on.
Rude.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's me.
Oh
me.
no, he forgot his
homework.
He forgot his homework. What's he gonna do?
Not his shukudai. What will Sensei say?
I'm shooting guns.
Yes, I'm sorry, Mage. Please go on.
Okay.
I'm not a shukudai.
I met up with player 2, and we were waiting around, and he said like whenever I approach monsters, they sort of flee away, and I thought that was weird until I noticed on the corner of the screen it says like Monster C bought a bow tie, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized this wasn't so much as like a Doom as in, you go and kill monsters. This was like a whole monster society, and they just wanted to be left alone and live their lives.
Like Undertale, dude. Nice.
So, yeah, me and player 2, we got out of the dungeon. I still had my big-ass potion that I found. We met 2 hellhounds, and I named them Gold and Silver because one had golden chains on its neck, the other had silver chains on its head. I fed them the potion, so they became friends with us. And then skip forward a few years. Apparently, me and player 2 adopted a monster girl, and she went to anime school, monster anime school.
What kind of monster, though? That's important.
Monster. Hold on. Don't skip over the monster anime girl subplot.
yeah, I guess that's fair.
So she went just to monster anime school, and sadly the dream teetered off it there, but it was pretty cute though. I like how it went from Doom to just monster anime school.
I'm not too surprised by that. TBH.
She did resemble a little bit, like, she was very cute though, but visually and color-wise she resembled, what are they called, like these one-eyed red and bluish sort of floaty...
Beholders?
I think so, yeah.
The big grumbles. The meatballs.
Yeah, the meatballs, yeah. So visually she resembled...
Was she a Cyclops?
Or she like a
honestly,
Gorgon Cyclops, like the Beholders have all the little eyes around their head, or
No, her eyes were covered by her bangs, so I couldn't tell.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'll bet if she brushed them aside, she'd have sapphire. She'd be a sapphire under there, if you know what I'm saying.
Probably.
If you know what I'm saying, if you catch my reference.
She was a bit of a tsundere, from what I remember.
Well, that was another winter mage. That was a cute dream. It had a story. How come all your dreams have fucking arcs?
Because she watches a lot of anime.
Dictated, yeah. I mean, I suppose the kind of dream you have, maybe, like, literally the amount of detail or how much you notice. I don't know, maybe, I guess it says something about you, or I guess at least your, like, observational skills.
I'd like to believe I'm a lucid dreamer, so I remember a lot of my dreams. A lot of people do have intricate dreams, they just don't remember them.
Yeah.
I sadly start forgetting my dreams within hours of waking up, but if I think about them as soon as I wake up, they usually lodge into my memory for a bit longer.
I'll forget, if I have a dream, I'll forget it like a minute later. Like I'll wake up and it'll I'll be like, oh, that was interesting. I gotta think about it so I don't forget it. But then like 2 minutes later, it's gone.
That's relatively common, I think.
This isn't really a dream, but I want to know if you guys do this. Where you're going to sleep. You're not asleep yet, but you're like trying to get asleep. You're in bed and you're just thinking about stuff, and you start to like play your own voice talking about like intricate topics in excessive detail, and you're like, man, this would be a good like a analysis video, but you know, I don't give a shit. And then you completely forget it by the time you wake up. It's just sort of like you sort things out by thinking about them. Like I know I was thinking about like, yes, the reason humans are like this is because of all these reasons, and I figured it out. And like I can't remember now, obviously, because that's if people could do that.
Like when you uncover some incredible truth about the universe, and like it's on the tip of your tongue forever, and you can't remember what the hell you were thinking about, but you know it was right. You know you solved all the
this
problems.
Monster you're fighting is so fucking cool.
I was just gonna say, speaking of truths about the universe, observe this man's golden testicles, please.
I
Watch
was
them
gonna
dangle.
mention that, but I wasn't sure how to.
He's got a quad testicle situation going on. The full.
Wait, he's not. This is not a man. This is like a weird. This is like a weird drift balloon.
It's like an angel balloon. This is very Evangelion. This thing that I'm fighting right now, though.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's got a halo. And,
mushroom.
it's kicking my ass. But anyway,
whoa! It exploded. All right.
Oh, that's so cool. Hippo, when I oftentimes, like when I'm going to sleep, okay, so I hate sleep and I resist it at all costs, much to my detriment. Currently I am suffering greatly because I literally don't know how long I've been awake. I don't remember what time I woke up or what day.
Whoa. Hell yeah.
I think it was yesterday.
This is like some sort of impractical transhumanism where you're just like, nah, I don't feel like being a biological creature, so I'll just ignore that.
I'm just gonna act as though I'm not and suffer all the consequences that come along with it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so but when I decide to compromise, you know, my morals and sleep against everything I believe in. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, I'll go to sleep. But while I'm falling asleep, I'll think about, like, something important. Like, I don't know, maybe I used to do this, like, when I'd be deep in programming on Endless War or something, I'd be like, oh, I gotta think about how such and such works. Well, I'll lay down, I don't want to stop, but I can't work anymore, I can't focus, I'm stupid. I'll lay down, I'll go to sleep, but while I'm falling asleep, I'll continue thinking about this problem. But, I mean, maybe you can see where this is going. One of two things always happens. You can't do both these things at once. Either most of the time I just can't fall asleep because if I'm thinking about it, it just doesn't work. So either I just don't fall asleep because I'm trying to think about the thing, or I just fall asleep anyway and I don't get anything done. And even if I did think anything important, it's gone in the morning. It's stupid. It's just like I just waste time lying there, like thinking, no, don't fall asleep yet. Let's focus on such and such. Oh, but I can't. Oh, but I'm tired though. Oh, but like, what if such and such? What if 2 + 2 = 5 actually?
I am pretty good at giving up and just going to sleep, which I think is good, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I just get wrapped up.
Do it.
I just get wrapped up because it's like sometimes I find what I'm saying is like really interesting and like, oh shit, I wanna finish this analysis video. I wanna get to the end of this point, but I keep going on tangents, and I'm like, well, all right,
Yeah.
you know, that's cool about that other thing that I've just discovered in about the secret of the universe. But I wanna continue about this topic about the reason we evolved, and dogs don't we're pack animals. Oh, that was what it was. I remembered. I was thinking about how humans are pack animals, because we evolved as monkeys in small tribes, but we live in society like a hive mind, like a bunch of ants. There's just too many of us in the same place, and we can't really figure it out.
You made that point before in a podcast.
Did I? I thought I dreamed
maybe.
it the other night. Well, I guess I was just remembering. But that's
Yeah. I think it was on the language one, and you made a point that the language sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh okay. Well, I guess it wasn't interesting, but I was really interested at the time, and I wanted to stay awake to like finish my point. I was just like, cool.
It's an interesting point, regardless. Yeah.
When I at some point I learned to identify a certain sense. Okay, my whole life I'm not like an insomniac per se, but like it takes me a long time to fall asleep, or it did. It's been sometimes it's hard for me to fall asleep even if I'm tired. Or it used to take me like a long time, like 45 minutes of lying there before I'd fall asleep. It was very annoying. Didn't like it.
Same though.
Yeah, but I learned to identify a feeling that is a tell for me that is like, oh, okay, it's working. I'm gonna be asleep soon, and it's that I'll feel like a moment go by where I don't hear anything. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
Like no.
Oh, when you sort of like you suddenly snap back to realizing that you haven't been thinking.
No wait,
I
think I know what you mean then. Oh man, I love that feeling. It's like the best feeling. I rarely get it, but it's so good. It's so peaceful.
Kinda. It's just, it doesn't really feel like anything. It's like it's not like I'm snapping back awake, like as though I was asleep, but I'm snapping back.
You're just being conscious of the fact that your body's shutting down and it's stopping certain functions.
There will be like what feels like a moment, and maybe I don't know, where it's like, and like I won't know it's happening at the time, but then a moment later I'll be like, oh wait, I was hearing like the wind, or I was hearing like the heater on or something, and I think but just that second there I didn't hear it. Like I couldn't hear anything. That means it's working. That means I'm going. Goodbye.
For me, it's like,
goodbye, cruel world.
I have this sort of a constant buzzing in my head, which prevents me to fall asleep very, very quickly. And like I have these moments very rarely where the buzzing seems to stop, and like my body and my head just relaxes because it's always there. So for the split second that it's not there, I notice it and then I immediately pass out, because it's just my head is just so tired of the buzzing. So whenever it gets the chance to not hear the buzzing, it just falls asleep.
Maybe it's that you don't hear it because your ears turned off just then. Like you're it's like clicking off. There's a guy in the janitor in your brain, and he's clicking off the lights one by one. The ears go first, and then the brain, and then.
It's a tiny janitor inside Ben. Yeah.
That's how I imagine it sometimes.
I mean, it's a good visual.
Like it's the reason when people have the whatever you call it wake up and you can't move.
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. It's because your brain wakes up, but it doesn't wake up the rest of your body.
Oh, I hate sleep paralysis.
Anyway,
I had it like once or twice. So it was really spooky.
I've had the thing where like I'll wake up and I can't move for a minute, and it's kind of scary. But I've never had the thing that like, people talk about like, oh, you feel like a demon sitting on you, or you I've had moments where I've woken up and I've like thought that I saw a face, like just for a second, like something in my field of vision for a second looked like a really scary face, and I'm like, but it's not like, like, I don't know, you hear about sleep paralysis and it's like, yeah, I like laid there and I couldn't move for like several minutes while like a shadowy figure like walked through my door and walked to my bed and like hunched over me.
I think I kind of had that once. I mean, it wasn't really a dream It was when I did edibles this one time. I was high on the fucking 90s drugs, and I was just laying in, and like, first of all, I realized that Satan is real.
Yeah, yeah,
and that he's inside me, and then I could feel him. I could feel him inside my body, and I was trying to focus on where it's coming from, and I realized it's in my blood. It's with every heartbeat. I could feel the electric currents of Satan inside my bloodstream, and then I like focused on it more. I'm like, wait, that's more than one Satan. How many Satans are in my blood right now? And I started...
Did you start counting Satans as though you were counting sheep?
Yeah, to get all the blood out of your body.
Like, I felt like an army of Satans marching through my bloodstream, and I'm like, my God, what do I do?
Jess has to face his demons.
Satan is a real observable force. He lives in the blood, and I realized I figured out like a system of measurement for how many Satans a person has in their blood, and I like oh man, this guy is really suffering. He's got like 13, and like, but like at that moment when I was laying in bed, I was like way up. I was like the 71 Satans.
Oh shit, dude.
The 71 jewels of Satan in my fucking.
Have you ever watched Star vs. the Forces of Evil?
Yeah.
There's this one guy called Tom, and he has a lot of demons within him, I guess. I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure. Was it souls, demons, or something like that?
So does Naruto.
That's why he's so angry.
Naruto was exactly.
You know,
one.
I've often wondered. I mean, I've sort of had this.
But it's got
other
9 tails.
Fair.
I've had this other theory or epiphany of like, you know, nowadays we talk a lot about mental illness nowadays, and you know, we have all these we have psychology, and we've come up with all these like categorizations and names for different mental illnesses, but in the olden times all of that was just treated like possession, and I started thinking, you know, maybe they were onto something in the olden times. Maybe they were smarter than we are, because instead of trying to categorize it and like make a science of it, they just realized that like, yeah, Satan is real, and sometimes people have fucking demons inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I don't want to talk to a scientist. Those motherfuckers lying
They're
and
lying
getting me
pissed.
Yeah, I hear you.
That reminds me of like the idea of like genius. Didn't used to be like a personable trait. It used to be like a good demon. Like, you have your genius came to you, and it gave you this idea.
It was not that you are a genius. It's that like you channeled something. You channeled
are a
something
genius. Hi ho, fiddle-dee-dee, suck on my dick and then make a big pee. That's my fucking song.
You are a genius.
Chicken and tea, you
chicken and I was fucking drinking my chicken and tea.
Let's talk about how the mentally ill should all be in concentration camps.
I agree. Yes,
they have
dreams.
especially the people who have trouble concentrating. That is why.
I mean, that is my dream.
Oh, you demon, you.
Wait, is that me?
No, good. You made a joke.
Oh,
you know, the devil's work. By the way, I think this little lolly girl, when look at her screen when I transition, I think she has huge tits. Yeah, look. Why does she have huge tits now? She's a baby.
Like,
what happened?
Is it still a lolly if it
know.
has huge tits? That's like if a tree falls and it doesn't make a sound.
I couldn't really tell what was going on with
her body. I think it's her like aged up in the character like fight star. Okay,
I think she's sort of hunched a bit and forward leaning, and that's messing up her tits. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I have this might be a hashtag relatable dream.
God, I hope so.
Because it applies to various aspects of life. It's happened in various ways. There's not like a specific example, but it's just like sometimes I dream, and I am back in school, and I remember moments where I could have been really, really cool if only I was cool at the time. The moment that always sticks in my mind is that I played guitar. I didn't play it very well, and I didn't play it very much, but not a lot of the other kids did play guitar. A few of them did, and one of them played drums, and I was friends with this guy who was Asian who played piano incredibly. and it was like, okay, you know, we could have made a band. We could have, like, we were into music. We could have started a band and done things, because there was like a little music room where you could rent out this space which had a drum set in it. And I went there once, but most of the time I was just too shy to ask about it, or too shy to think about it. And you know, moments like that where I'm like,
Yeah.
Other people have done, like, that they did performances when they got good at music, and they, like, in front of the whole school, they did a little thing during an assembly, and I was like, if only I had, like, nurtured that skill that I was sort of doing something with at home, but not really doing it anywhere else. If only I'd nurtured that at school, I could have been the cool guy. I wouldn't have even needed to be good socially. If I had guitar skills and I went up on stage and I played a cool guitar thing, then people would be like, hey, you're pretty cool, you're pretty cool. And I would have been like,
That story is indeed very relatable. Missed opportunities. Like today, I had to get quarters from the grocery store, but god damn it, I was at Whole Foods, which is a fancy grocery store, and I was too scared to ask for quarters at the register, so I just didn't, like I would have if it was Kroger or something. And it made me very sad. Hey, wait, she's old now. I think that, okay, sorry, I'm just,
There's a guy, one of the guys who lives in my house once told me, he was like, man, so I went to Whole Foods earlier today, and, you know, I forgot to buy something. I really need to go back and get it, but I can't. I'm too embarrassed to show up again, because they'll see me and they'll know that, like, I was already here once, and they'll think, why are you here twice in one day? I can't do it. I can't go back.
No.
So I'm just gonna have to go without this thing that I critically need.
That's life, baby.
Why? You can't have people seeing that you've failed. You can't have people knowing your weaknesses.
No. This
They
is
could
what
use
you
that
do.
against.
No, what you do in a situation like that is you go and you're like, sorry, I these condoms were too small. I needed the extra
Oh
large.
shit.
Then it's all fine.
What extra huge, please?
Extra big ones. Also, I need this thing. Also,
Excuse me, I'm here to return these condoms. I forgot I'm a bug chaser. I forgot that I actually love getting diseases from strange hookers.
And then they applauded you right there, the standing ovation.
And everyone clapped.
And they're so impressed that they don't see you sneak back and steal the milk that you needed to make your shitty cake or whatever the fuck.
They'll give you milk. You know, they're so proud that you're brave enough to admit it.
They'll give you milk straight from the.
It'll be coming down like a fountain, like a little rain cloud around you.
Delicious blue AIDS milk, like my hero Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah.
Suckling on that hot pig.
So I have 2 more dreams I could share.
Sure, okay.
Why not? Why not? Nothing matters. God's fake.
We're all gonna die anyway. Okay. I'll tell the one that's older, so I wouldn't forget. So it starts in. Okay, so I'm not me in this dream. In a lot of dreams, I'm not me. I'm some other character usually. So I'm in this underground bunker sort of city, actually. Underground civilization of humans that went underground like forever ago, and they haven't seen sunlight in decades. Who knows? But the character that I am, they committed some sort of crime, but like it wasn't like a moral crime. They did it for survival, but the rules are so strict, so they had to be punished.
One jump ahead of the bread man.
Yeah.
One skip ahead of the sword.
Oh, boy.
Steal only one. I am bored. Okay.
So instead of taking the punishment, they decided to do the unthinkable and escaped to circus life.
Unthinkable. Wait, did you say circus life?
No. On the surface.
Oh, I thought the unthinkable escape to circus life. Okay, no. I'm sorry.
Someone messaged me on Discord today and said, Ben, I hate it. My school is starting again. I have to go to classes, and I advised him to run away and join the circus. And he said he'd think about it. So I hope never to hear from him again because he's too busy with his new profession.
I hope so.
Best of luck to them. So yeah, they escape to the surface, and the humans, so to his surprise, the humans have survived on the surface, and they have created societies and stuff that they look very different from his own, and he is visually different from everyone. And as soon as they spot him, they sort of attack him as an unknown, and they try to get a hold of him, but he steals like a motorcycle or something, and to my surprise they actually knew how to drive one. So he started driving away from the people that tried to apprehend him, and he was driving really, really fast on this very empty road, and in front of him, like at a fork in the road, between the two roads, stood like a little girl with like blackened eyes, and she tried to point to one road for him to take. But he was like, "No, I'm not having that shit. I don't want to follow whatever she's pointing to." So he took the other road, and the other road was a very, very, very long bridge over water and led to an island.
He
but
took the road less traveled, and that made all the difference.
But the closer I got to the island, reality just literally started breaking. Like whispers and murmurs of like 1,000 possessed little girls started filling the mind, and I know for my character that meant death, but for me it meant I was gonna wake up if this continues on. So I didn't want to end the dream there, so I U-turned and turned around and went to the way the girl was pointing. So I understood that, you know, she was trying to warn me not to go to that island. And I ended up in a little port town where people were a lot nicer than the people that were trying to apprehend me. I guess it was a military base or something where I ended up in. Anywho, so there no one was really suspecting me or anything, and I was just chilling until like the little girls from that possessed island started attacking people at the port island. They just sort of started flying towards it, and it was crazy scary. But then my character decided to fight them, and sadly I woke up in the middle of the fight. So I guess I died. I don't know.
Maybe you got headshotted from behind.
Maybe.
You never even saw it coming.
God,
yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, they were sort of set up as a force that like you cannot fight, because like when I was heading to the island, I said like reality was literally breaking. So if they all attacked in unison, there's really no escaping that. Speaking of inescapable things, very quickly, one dream I remember from my childhood. I dreamt I was sitting in school. I was just, you know, in a class. I looked out the window, a meteor hit Earth, and I saw the wave of the meteor just come towards us, and we all died.
Nice.
I had a dream like that. It's very brief. One time, I dreamed that I was like, I think I was in a car. Probably my parents were driving. I think I was a kid, whatever. But the point is that like, I looked up, and there was a fucking CGI like sky, like the sky like opened up because a meteor was coming down to Earth. And it was coming down so fast it like split the air around, and like it was all fucked up. It was really scary. And I was like, "Oh, this is it! 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 This is it!"
Dude.
And yeah, it didn't hit. Yeah, like I woke up. Like, I don't remember it hitting. Like the Earth didn't explode or anything. I was just like, the sky opened up. A meteor is coming down. This is the cataclysmic event. Like everything's fucked. You know, it was just really scary. It was just really scary seeing the sky look like that and knowing what it meant, you know?
Yeah. I had a very similar dream once, quite vivid, but the meteor wasn't coming directly for us. It was like winter, and we were watching fireworks, or we were just out in a field. There's a bunch of people in a field. And then the meteor comes, and it's like dark, and it sort of like lights up the sky like a firework would, but it sort of stays light because it's like burning and stuff. But then it sort of rolls across the sky horizon, like, you know how when you look straight up, the sky sort of looks like a big dome. And the way that it's, if you think about it, it's kind of weird how the Earth is like a sphere and stuff. Like
allegedly.
And like the meteor, like sort of, it wasn't like coming straight down. It was sort of like rolling. It didn't have like a fiery trail behind it. It was just sort of like in orbit, and it just sort of rolled around and went down off the horizon. And then we heard like a big shake, and then we felt it, and then we had a big gust of wind. It was like, oh shit, we weren't like directly in danger, but the dream was mostly about trying to find my parents and my brothers, and in the midst of the chaos. Like, the meteor wasn't really a part of it after that. It was just sort of like everybody thought the world was going to end and they were running around, and it was like the scariest part of all those like disaster movies is just the big crowd of people going apeshit and you not knowing where to go or who to stay with. And it's like, oh, the mob is the mob. I'm scared of the mob.
When I say in my dream, when I said meteor, but really, like, it took up the entire sky. So it was like a second planet was crashing into Earth.
Dude,
but it was like but it was like a big. Wait, does that
They
happen?
weren't that big, those meteors.
No.
It does happen in homes, dude.
It was like a second planet, but this other planet was like black and red, like it was like on fire, like it was like.
Dude, Homestuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you dreamt Homestuck.
I didn't dream Homestuck.
I'm just teasing.
Amazingly, I don't think I've ever had a Homestuck dream.
I dream about Vriska every day.
Unfortunately, I don't tend to dream about the things that I actually like or am interested in.
Me neither.
I mean,
like
yeah, a
looking up
lot
at
of
the
dreams. A lot of dreams.
We
I
can't all
feel
have
are
cool
like,
anime dreams like Mage.
Yeah, it's weird to hear like so many like anime dreams, because like a lot of the times I have dreams, they're about like issues I'm having or things and fears I have. They're not always nightmares. They're just sort of like I feel like I've heard that dreams are your brain's way of like sorting things out, and if you're thinking about a lot of stuff, it'll come up in a dream in a way that you won't really immediately understand. But I guess sometimes you can just dream about cartoons you watch a lot. If you watch a lot of cartoons.
I mean, I have those dreams too. Like, I sometimes have dreams about things that bothered me literally a decade ago, and I'm still not over it, I guess. And I hate those dreams, and I try not to think about them, but they happen often enough.
But there's the cool ones. I want to hear about those.
It's literally just me back in school and having like my friend that I sort of ended our friendship in a very not friendly manner, I guess, and it's just me trying to talk to her, trying to talk some sense in her, but she's antagonizing me, and we scream at each other, and that's basically it. And it's a repeat of that in different scenarios a lot of the time, so it's not much of interest.
How
about more anime dreams?
I full on pissed the bed the other night because of a dream I was. I mean, I pissed and shit the bed. I mean,
I was gonna say, before we started recording, you said shit. Are you backtracking?
No. This was too recent. One time I shit the bed, and the other time I pissed the bed. I'm more embarrassed about pissing the bed. I mean, shitting the bed is just funny. Pissing the bed is like a thing that only happens to kids, so I'm more embarrassed about. But it was justified.
When you're an adult, you graduate to shitting the bed.
Yeah. Like, I mean, shitting the bed is just like, hey, man, I shit the bed. That's what I fucking do. I like to shit myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say that every day.
Especially because,
Well, fortunately, yeah, I shit the bed, but I was wearing my "I'm just being cool" shirt. Available at the PCP Teespring. Link below.
And plus, like, when you shit the bed, most of it stays like in your underwear. If you're wearing underwear, hopefully, if you got like pajamas on, if you shit the bed, most of it stays like in you. It's like kind of like poopy icky around your butt cheeks. But when you piss the bed, it goes everywhere. It gets in the blankets, and so then you gotta like do the walk of shame with the fucking blankets in your hand, like throw them in the laundry machine, like, yeah, everyone look at the guy who did it. I peed in the bed like a baby, like a child, like a fucking 7-year-old. But I had it.
It happened though.
I do, because I had a dream, a cool piss dream, and that's how they get you. That's how they trick you. Dreams trick you into shitting and pissing on yourself by making it seem like you're pissing and shitting somewhere appropriate. So I had this cool dream, and it was a pretty cool dream. So
I just want to say I have had dreams in which I piss myself, but I don't think I have ever actually, like, I've never woken up and found that the dream was true.
Thank God.
Like,
To a lot of people, it does happen, but some people don't.
you have
a dream.
I've dreamed about peeing, and I wake up and I think, Jesus Christ, I pissed the bed, and then I look like, oh no, I actually didn't. think it's ever happened to me. As,
Yeah, like sometimes you dream, like in your dream you have to pee, and in your dream you're like by a toilet or something fun. So it's like, yeah, I'm peeing, yeah. And then like mid pee, you start to feel like this uncanny warmth around your like your fucking bed zone, and you're like, wait a minute, this feels
good.
This feels remarkably similar to being in bed and laying in a fucking puddle. Oh no! This is a dream and I'm pissing for real. And then you wake up and you're like, oh fuck. And then you know, once you're there, you might as well shit too.
That's how they get you. It's the sunk cost fallacy.
Exactly. Literally sunk in a puddle of pee.
Oh.
So this dream I had recently that caused this recent horrendous accident. So like one of my favorite places in the world is this called the Bavarian Inn Hotel in a town called Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a whole town that's like German themed, like 19th century, like lederhosen fucking chocolate stores and shit. It's like a kind of like a tourist trap town, and there's this big like Germany fucking Bavarian hotel. But the bottom floor, the basement, I used to go there as a kid all the time and stay. And in the basement, there's this massive like arcade with like multiple swimming pools and arcade machines and like restaurants and a mini golf course. And like it's like the coolest place of all time. So like in the dream, I like owned that basement. I like owned like that was my house. Was the Bavarian Inn Hotel. Basement with the arcade and the mini golf and the pools and the restaurant. So like I was living there and like everything was going cool, and like not only did I have the arcade, but like adjacent to it I also had a locker room, because that's my other dream, like having a massive fucking bathroom where like no one can find me. So like I had a big arcade and a big bathroom, big locker room. So like in the dream I'm married, and so like I'm walking around my cool arcade, and then I find this note from my dream, and the note says like, oh, I have to leave you because I'm covered in shit or something. I don't even know what it says.
Are you covered in shit, or they're leaving because they're covered in shit?
I don't know like what the letter said. It didn't seem like a breakup letter, but it seemed like I'm going off to war letter or some shit.
Okay.
Shit. So I'm like, oh no, my dream wife is gone and dead. She won't be able to share this great arcade place with me. This cool job. But then in the dream I thought, wait a minute, my God, I'm single. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can go where. So then I went to the locker room area in the dream, and I went in the shower and I took my wiener out and I like aimed it upwards like yes, I'm peeing in the shower, woo! And I'm just like pee in this beautiful arc, all over the walls, like a human fountain, pissing straight upwards. It was.
I gotta say, I think your dream wife sounds like kind of a bitch if she won't let you pee in the shower.
I know, right? So I was finally free.
Better off alone.
I know. I was not mourning her loss. I was free. I was free to piss like a wild man. So I'm in this shower. I'm just fucking going off like a crazy day. Woo, pissing everywhere, and I for about like 30 full seconds of pissing before I feel the familiar puddle, and I wake up and I go, oh no, that was pissing for real. And also I'm not single. Oh no.
Owned.
The worst of both worlds.
Well,
yeah,
that is a tragic tale, if ever there was one.
The reverse of thinking my dad's dead and then realizing he's not.
I've got a dream that I had. You know, I spent a lot of time trying, well, I won't exaggerate, but I spent a bunch of time trying to think of interesting dreams. There's the one I had about the octopus balls that I've told it like a couple times. That one is pretty interesting. Probably the most interesting dream I've ever had. The only other fucking dream I can even remember is actually my first memory in life that I think I've actually talked about as well. But what this memory consists of, and this was a dream, it's just I'm looking at myself as a baby, wearing a diaper. I think I'm like in an attic, like a wooden attic. And I think I'm like smiling towards the camera, which is me. Like I'm observing this third person. And it's just like the camera's just like zooming out. It's not a camera, it's just whatever. The perspective is zooming out from me. And I may or may not have been in a box or like in like a fort, because I used to love to get into boxes and forts as a small child. And that's it. It's just a panning shot
that
out
sounds
of me smiling.
Almost exactly like Finn's baby dream in Adventure Time.
Yeah?
There's a scene in Adventure where Finn like goes into his own dreams or his own memories or something, and like he's in this wooden hallway like in his old childhood house, and he opens the bathroom door and he sees himself as a baby standing on a stool in front of the mirror in a diaper, going, "I'm a tough tootin' baby.
No, wasn't that,
I can just like I can shake him, my fanny, I can shake him, I can."
I think Marceline saw that.
Yeah, it was one of them.
Finn and Marceline saw that, I think.
I think in a later episode, one of them sees it again. Like I think
they call back to it.
Finn sees it himself. Yeah. Marceline sees it first. Finn sees it later.
Right. Marceline sees it, and like she's peeking through the bathroom door, and then Finn comes out to get her. Finn and he also sees through the door. And he just looks at it like embarrassed and like closes the door. Like, don't look at that. That's my baby dream.
I mean,
it's actually not that similar. There's no dancing in Nate's version.
No, it's true. Mine is, it's basically a still image, my memory. It's like the only fucking dream I even remember. I have such a shit memory for things. The only things I remember are Kingdom Hearts lore. Everything else went in the trash. Basically.
Too much space.
Yeah.
Taken up.
I had to reformat the hard drive to fit all that data.
I remember, this is really embarrassing. I don't even want to say it, but I'm on a podcast, so I guess now's the time to bear my most private secrets.
Indeed.
I remember dreaming as a kid. I don't really remember the build up to the dream that like led to this, but in the dream, it's in third person, right? Like I'm seeing it as though I'm seeing it as though it's a cartoon, because I remember seeing my face, and I have a cartoon face, like I'm an animated character, and I have been eating, like I've been eating and eating like more and more, and I've become huge, right? Like I've become like this cartoon version of me that I'm observing in third person has become colossal, has become the size of a city, and he/me is like just like stepping through the city, like picking up entire skyscrapers and like shoving them down his throat, and just like but like, and it's I think the conceit is that, like, you know, as I eat, I'm like adding the thing's mass to my own, and I should be like getting bigger and bigger, but I'm like I'm going through cities eating skyscrapers, but I'm saying pretty much the same. I'm saying consistently Godzilla size. So I look to the camera, I look at me, I look at you, the viewer, which is me, and I put my hands on my head and I say, "Hey, how come I'm not getting any fatter, huh?"
Yeah.
and that's all I remember.
Dude, that's like a really funny one of your old comics.
Is it?
It just like the idea of it being like completely strange, and then you look at the camera and you just say a silly line. That sounds like a Ben Saint comic.
Well, I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, man,
it's funny.
It is pretty fun. Now that I've said it aloud, it's not quite as embarrassing. But that's like a thing. That's like a thing that I've thought of, been like, oh, I'm so embarrassed about that dream that I had. But like, hey, it's all good.
My dream is relatively embarrassing as well.
I'm free.
I'm like, only because I'm like kind of like a naked-ish baby in a diaper, which just seems embarrassing.
Wow,
but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, wouldn't idiot. I mean, you can't even get a layup and get the dunk. I don't know. Embarrassing. Yeah, reprehensible.
He can't even get the dunk, little bitch.
Just throw a basketball at him at full force.
Yeah, I bet he
catch this.
I bet he'll just receive damage, that piece of shit.
you know, the Chicago Bulls are playing the Lakers, and fucking, I don't know, Shaq or whoever is like, he's driving hard into the paint, but he's cornered. They got him covered, and he's like, yo, do it. Take the layup for the dunk. And he just throws it into the crowd at Baby Nate, who's sitting there staring at the camera.
This is
that's
it.
slowly
My
doing
chance.
a zoom out pan, and it just, it just obliterates him.
See, that's what I'm talking about. They'd be talking about that at school for
and
weeks.
the coach just puts his hand in his head like, oh.
I knew this rookie was a risky hire. I knew from the start.
I knew he'd let me down.
Well, on that note, have we eaten through all our dreams? I'm tapped. Well, I'm sure not. But we could stop.
I mean, I
anyway.
could go on, but I could also save it for fucking Dreamcast 2.
I think we should save it for Dreamcast 2 Crazy Taxi Edition or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you
why
know,
not?
I guess I'll have to try and dream some more because I can't think of any.
Yeah, I gotta think of
any
some
more.
dreams.
I don't have any records.
I have two more dreams. One where I tried to break the fourth wall within my dream, and one about dragon people. So I guess I'll save those for later.
I guess let's save them for later. All right. Well, I guess this has been.
I
the
hope
dream.
I don't forget them.
Let us know.
I was
Let us know if you
fucking.
want.
Yeah.
If you wanna hear about the dragon people.
dreaming when I went fucking. When I got drunk at the movie theater yesterday and saw Broly and started nodding off and dreaming that I was Broly.
Oh, that sounds like a good dream.
For like
Except,
only
I
like
mean,
a few seconds
He is a mindless
time, though,
beast.
before I got nudged and said, "Wake up! You're fucking watching a movie."
Oh.
Oh shit! Just yeah.
Yeah, that movie was good though.
That movie was great. That was like fantastic.
It was on YouTube, so I didn't take it seriously and just kind of skipped through. But I will sit down and watch it at some point, like the whole thing through.
It was
dope.
in the theater. It was epic.
Yeah. I should just go to the movie theater and watch it. Just fuck
Yeah.
it.
I went to one of those fancy movie theaters that have a bar in them, so you
Dude,
get drinks and get.
Whoa.
Awesome.
I have never been to a movie theater like that.
Oh, those are
before.
the fucking best.
Bruh.
Holy
That's how I
shit.
saw Tusk, and now it's how I saw Broly.
As
That's
movies
drunk.
get less and less of a
Sounds
sustainable
cool.
business model, I think they have to make them more of a gourmet experience. And
I mean,
you know.
like, I mean, you go into the movies, you're paying for the experience anyway, so
Yeah.
they really got to double down on the experience.
I've never been to one either, but man.
I mean, when we saw Princess Mononoke a little while ago, I had never been in one of these before, the movie theaters that have like the plush seats.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was new. But a bar in the movie theater, that's a whole new level.
Well,
Anyway, I'm very impressed.
One more, I got
That's
one
my
more
fucking
tiny.
dream.
I got one more tiny little dream.
okay.
That I may as well not say for next time because it's really small. One time I dreamt that I was playing Dragon Force from Guitar Hero.
Yeah, of course.
That's all it's
Fire
from.
and
I woke up to find that I was like pretend playing it with my hands. I was just like, and then I was like, yeah, and I could to play
like a
it while I
dog,
was
like a dog running in its sleep.
Oh, I quickly wanted to say two things since we're wrapping up. One very quick. I remember like when I was younger. I had a dream. I don't remember what I was dreaming, but I was punching, and I woke up to be punching a wall, and that hurt my hand.
Yeah.
And the second thing I wanted to say, whenever I look up in the sky in my dreams, it always has like 2 or more moons in it. It's never just one. I don't know why, but it's weird, and I like it.
I like that too. It's all the shared universe. Dreams.
It's all in the Star Wars universe. Like Tatooine.
But they go to a lot of different planets.
Two moons, I think.
That sounds about right.
Probably other places have 2 moons. Whatever. Don't worry about it.
Everything has 2 moons except Earth.
Yeah. We're just lucky like that.
My dreams are not on Earth confirmed.
That's it. We're done. Thanks for listening to the Dreamcast, people. You're bonus people. You're
Did
patrons.
you like it?
Yeah.
Did you hate it? Let us know.
Do you want a Dreamcast 2?
Yeah, Dreamcast 2. Let us know. Crazy
And
Taxi or whatever.
Yeah.
And that'll be that. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. You can follow us. You know our stuff, so I won't even chill it. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Don't let the bed bugs bite you in asshole.
Yeah, ass.
Ah, man, a Dreamcast. That is such a cool idea. It's bad the guys will never let it happen, though.
So that's what would have happened if I, Lethal Aurora Mage, would have had that dream about the Dreamcast. A man can dream, though. A man can dream.